One day when I grow up, I'll be a public speaker. In my profession as a guide, because that's how I started off in this industry, I've been very fortunate to be able to watch the demonstration by nature of the power of collaboration, whether it's lions hunting or a pack of wild dogs or fish eagles or whatever it is in nature that's actually demonstrating the success, the increased success of collaboration. I've tried to break it down what collaboration actually means. It's about team, it's about process, it's about purpose, and as a result, the Wangi operators in Zimbabwe have all come together to form yet another trust, as some people would say. But this comes from a realization that we're off doing various things as different trusts, different organizations, but at some point we are going to have to all meet and sing the same song from the same hymn sheet. And so as a result, we are choosing to put aside any individual brands and egos, mobilizing resources, and increasing our efficiencies in terms of targets. So just an example from one camp in Wangi National Park, we basically launched this quite late into the season. And having launched it late, we're going to raise $20,000 a year, this year. And if there were 8 camps doing exactly the same thing, would be up to 160. That's quite a lot of resources going back into one national park. In fact, we've gone a step further and said we will commit and match whatever it is that we collect in terms of our conservation levy from our clients. And as a result, we will be able to contribute $40,000. That's just from one camp. Now, this is a park where only 10% of its collected revenues, that park currently collects about $2 million worth of revenue annually, and only less than 10% is actually plowed back by government. So it's very clear that we've got to get out and actually, as private stakeholders, push a different campaign in terms of actually making that difference. This year, amidst a drought that a lot of the Southern African countries are facing, we're going to have to deal with human intervention. We're going to have to come up with programs that actually sets us aside a budget so that we can deal with some of the happenings and going on, which is not necessarily caused by human factor. But we know that we can't actually deal with conservation without dealing with the communities that surround those parks. Collecting this levy now allows us to be able to come together and mobilize basically global resources and increase awareness, not just at community level, but also at government level, because part of the process is about approaching government and actually educating government on what's actually happening on the ground. There's a lot of questions always with these sort of introductions. This is not groundbreaking. All these questions that you see are questions that a lot of people will have from the trade, from other collaborators. But the bottom line is that we all have lots of questions, and that's why we're here as part of this process, to allow us to be able to debate with each other. What are the questions? What are the answers? Not any one individual will have these. But through coming together, we're able to actually reach out. We all know that conservation is a very expensive exercise. And even as we sit here today, tourism is just simply not enough to pay for conservation. And we will have a much louder voice, we'll have a much deeper impact if as an industry we're educating the rest of the international community. Everybody's got their own trusts, everybody's doing fantastic stuff, and this doesn't take away from that. But what it actually means is that we can all come together and even support the other collaborators that are doing fantastic things in the areas of responsibility. So as a result of the drought relief, we have managed to raise at least $50,000 of the first phase of $250,000 that we need in order to sort out all the community differences, all the altercations that they're having. Thank you, Ron.
Thank you, BEKS.